Best of r/Tales from Retail episode 51. So first let me say I live and work in California, so anyone familiar with the law knows you have essentially no control over theft. In California you can't ask them to open their bag, ask them to put the item back, accuse them of anything, touch them, even a tap on the shoulder to get their attention, or block them from exiting the building. If you see them physically put something in their bag, only then may you ask something along the lines of, "Did you want to pay for that?" If they want, they can flat out say no and you can't do anything about it. Continuing to ask or say anything would be considered harassment. So why not call the cops? Well, you can't keep them there, so they can leave before the cops arrive. And unless their haul totals over $950, it's only a misdemeanor, so the cops don't even bother coming because it's a waste of time if it's just petty theft. In California there are much more important things for them to work on. Well, since that's established, it sets the scene a little better. I work at a craft store and we have a lot of theft because fine art supplies are quite costly and can be resold. On Saturday we had a couple come in and I'm the only one at the registers and I just had a weird feeling. So I said over the radio their description and my manager was able to reach them about 5 minutes later. At that point one bag was already full, but we had people following them and only one of the bags was able to be filled in the duffel bag and backpack they weren't able to use because we were watching. So the remainder of the items in their cart they had to leave behind. They pulled the whole declined card. We have to go outside and call the bank scheme, which we know is total BS, but legally we can't say a thing. But I rung up what they weren't able to shove in a bag and it was just under $350 excluding the stuff they changed their minds on. They were visibly uncomfortable, and when they left without the stuff in their cart because their card was declined, they looked really annoyed. Of course they left with some stuff, but we saved most of it. And if I hadn't been watching, they most likely would have gotten away with it all. It pays to be vigilant and I'm really proud of myself. Anyone who works in California can probably relate to my pride, haha. IDK just had to say it because that just doesn't happen down here. The law makes it so we can't do anything about it, and I was able to legally stop them and I'm really fucking proud of it. Also shout out to my co-workers who helped follow them and make them uncomfortable. They don't know my user, but hey, still couldn't have done it without you. TLDR. Stopped a couple from stealing a bunch of merchandise, which is hard to do with California laws. Thank you. Next. I worked at a chain home improvement store as a cashier up until 4-5 months ago. Anyway, for some context, all the registers are basically the exact opposite of how a normal register is set up. I faced away from customer. They had to pass behind me to get to the card/chip reader and bag their own items. If they are paying in cash or check, yes. Some people still uses them for shopping. They would hand it to me. I bemoaned this backwards setup from day one. Security being my number one reason. But this one time, I was grateful for the ability to look away from the customer. I had a seemingly normal looking guy come through my line. I had no idea the laugh I was about to try and repress. It was a typical transaction. Scanned items, blah blah, until it was time to pay for it. He was standing in front of the card/chip reader. No problem. I select that option on my screen. Then I looked back at him, and there he was trying to insert his cash into the chip reader. XD. For about 2 glorious seconds he was wondering why it wasn't working. Then he finally figured it out, quickly paid for his items and run off. He had no valid reason for it, too. Middle of the afternoon. It thankfully wasn't busy, so I had a good laugh afterwards. I told everyone I could about that hilarious display of dumb. Thank you. Next. At my new job, there's not a whole lot of drama, unless you want to hear about how relieved one of my co-workers is about not having to sell curtains and curtain rods anymore. But this always cracks me up. So my store has an app to pull up a 40% coupon. Normally, I just have people pull it up from the website because it's a lot easier. I haven't even bothered downloading it on my phone. The most I've bought at my own store is paints and a set of brushes. But it's pretty funny that this incident keeps happening over and over. I'm ringing at the register, doing my thing, when a lady walks up. She's visibly frustrated with her phone and keeps tapping it really hard. Me. Good morning. You find everything okay? Lady. Frustrated with phone, then glares at me. Your internet isn't working. Me. Confused. Our internet? Lady. Your store internet. It's so slow and I can't pull my coupon up. Me. Mom, we don't have free internet for the public. Lady. Dead silence. Me. We have internet for our computer systems, but that's it, and it's password guarded. I don't even have access to it. Lady. Face turns beet red as she puts down her basket of stuff and storms out of the store. Like, I'm sorry you can't access internet that's not available. Cracks me up how angry people will get over it. I've also had several people come up and complain their phones are slow whenever they enter the store. I just stare at them until they wander off or storm out. Thank you. Next. This is one of my short but definitely sweet stories of my retail job. I work with clothes and I do get the occasional gossip and whatever, but last night was the best cause. I got to help a grandfather and granddaughter pick out a dress. We had a couple in stock in her size and I helped the girl pick them out cause her grandfather wanted me to help her choose. After the little girl, maybe 10-12 years old, tried on the dresses in front of the grandfather, the grandfather starts crying and said, I don't handle emotions very well, but that just breaks my soul. I'm an old sob and a biker and I'm usually tough, but that just makes me cry. I assured him softly not to cry and I feel for him. At the end they got the 3 of the 4 dresses we had in stock and I felt pretty good knowing I helped them. Thank you. Next. I'm on mobile so I'm sorry if this is messed up format wise. So I work in a gas station / truck stop. We're close to a few towns and cities so we get quite a few regulars, either being truck drivers or just regular customers. Since being a gas station we sell cigarettes and have a lot of regulars that come in and buy them, and after seeing them for a while you kind of learn which ones they get, and I don't always eat them. Now one of the regulars come in. This guy is very rude and none of us like him really at all, and my co-worker who had just started and didn't know the regulars started to help him. I was at the other side of the store but close enough that I could hear what was going on at the till. The conversation goes like this. Co-worker. Hi, how are you? Is this everything? Customer. Also a insert pack of smokes here. Co-worker. Id. Customer. I don't have it. I never get ID'd here. Co-worker. Well, I'm going to need your ID or I can't sell you the smokes. Customer. I come here all the time and I never need my ID. She knows me, points to me. I hear this but don't acknowledge it because if you're asked to show it you have to show it no matter what. It can't be overridden. Co-worker. Turns to me. Does he still need to show it? Me. Yes. If it's asked for it needs to be presented or the smokes cannot be sold. Customer. Fine, I'll go get it and be back. About an hour later it was just me at the cash and this guy comes back with his fucking passport. Apparently he had no license and his passport was his only option. WTF. He drove there, by the way. Customer. After he showed me his ID and I was about to charge him for the smokes. Why did I need it if I come here all the time and you know me? Me. Because it can't be overridden if it's been asked for. Also the law is that you need to it every time no matter what. It doesn't matter if you've been here before. Customer. No you don't. If you know the person it doesn't matter, you don't have to it every time. Me. Yes you do. Check the law. Customer. No you don't. Trust me, I own a gas station in Toronto. Me in my head. Well then why don't you buy them fucking there? Me out loud. Well you need to learn your laws because yes you do. Customer. This is unbelievable. You are completely wrong. You have just lost a customer and I will be talking to your manager. Me. Okay, you do that. I know I'm right. Customer storms out. Me. Have a great day. I don't know if he ever did call my manager but I've never heard anything. Face with tears of joy. Fucking guy owns a gas station and doesn't know the fucking law. Sorry this was long and maybe boring. It just makes me laugh whenever I think about it. Thank you. Next. So I decided that this story was interesting enough to share. I've been working at a gas station near the grocery store for the past 5 months, and honestly I've not had any stories about it because it's a gas station. Though this event happened over a week ago, it is still stuck in my head as just up and strange, especially with the fact that new laws about cigarette sales are going into effect here in Ontario. My job is fairly simple. I turn the pumps on, I work the cash, and I sell cigarettes and lotto tickets. Due to new laws trying to combat smoking, last I checked, all cigarettes in Ontario are now being changed to new generic packaging, brown package, white generic text, no logos or pictures beyond the effects of smoking images. I get the idea and I've managed to pick up on the most common brands we sell here, so no big deal. A woman comes in to pay for gas and as I get her sale finalized, she asks for cigarettes. She asks for brand color, which are now brand alt. I get them out and she's confused, saying that they're not brand color. I do my best to assure her that they in fact are, but she is still confused. In her defense, I have a disability that causes me to not register human tones very well, so I could have been snippy in my attitude, which would not have been cool. She seems to accept them and I finalize her sale, and since I work until closing I say, "Have a nice evening," as she leaves. I think nothing of it, just a normal Thursday for me at this point. Cue her husband marching in and accusing me of selling her the wrong cigarettes a few minutes later. I am slightly confused, as normally when customers get sold, I just explain it as new generic packaging due to the law. I explained to him those are the brand, just in a different package, and he says, no they're not, before demanding that I give him his wife's money back. I try to assure him that nothing has changed beyond the packages and he interrupts, telling me that back in his hometown, apparently he wasn't from the local area, that they still sold brand color. I try to assure him that this is just how it is and he won't let me get a word in. I just finally give up, sigh, and give the jackass the money back. The packages weren't open so it wasn't a problem. As soon as he's out and past the pumps, I mutter under my breath jackass, which I was later informed was a bad idea because somebody there might know him. I was lucky that the only customer after him said out loud that the guy was a jackass. Shortly after dealing with the customer, I call up my boss and ask about the policy on refunds and returns. Turns out we don't have one and he wants to know why I'm asking. I explain and he says that so long as the packages weren't open, I was fine. He gets it entirely that I just wanted that guy out by that point. He even comments that it just means his hometown has a very slow business since they're not out of the color packages yet, and that it won't matter in a few weeks due to another mandate going out that will make it so that all packages sold in retail locations must be generic packaging only. The thing that really gets me is his comment of "in my hometown," as if that's going to somehow magically make me give him colored brand or make me just give him the money back. I wonder what his wife said, and whether or not my issues when understanding basic human tone and inflection had somehow ignited this. Still, it doesn't excuse this man being rude and demanding all over some cigarettes when everyone else has taken it in stride. Thank you. Next. Sorry, on mobile. Some background info. I work as a cashier in a healthy food store that sells organic fruits and veggies, groceries tailored to the needs of specific individuals, diabetic-friendly candies, and a huge vitamin/HbA section. I feel confident with my knowledge of the store items except the vitamin/HbA section. Cust, ME. Myself C. Customer. This happened months ago, but still sticks out to me. A customer was searching the vitamin/HbA section with a confused look on his face. My line was non-existent so I came over to offer him help. ME. Pardon me, sir. Do you need any help looking for something? C. Looks down at the smudged writing on his hand. Yup. Do you guys carry essential oils? ME. Yes. They are over in the aisle to the left near the soaps. C walks over to the essential oils, and I go back to my register and feel accomplished for helping him in the section I know the least about. About 20 minutes later, C makes his way to my line and I smile at him. He still looks confused. ME. Did you find what you were looking for? C. Yup, my doctor told me I needed lavender essential oil to help me focus. I have ADHD and need all the focus I can get. ME. Small world. I have ADHD too. I just take a medicine and do behavioral modification for mine. C. My doctor said stimulants don't work, so she said I should rub this stuff, lavender essential oil, on my temples and bam, focus. ME. I hope it works out for you. C. So if I just drink it, I should be able to focus even more, right? ME. Are you being serious? C. Yup, I really need to focus. Is it safe to drink it? ME. Genuinely dumbstruck. I don't think it is wise to drink essential oils. Plus, didn't you say the doctor wanted you to rub it on your temples or something? C starts to look disappointed. C. Oh, I thought that would cure it. ME. Just rub it on your temples. Please don't drink it. If you want to drink some lavender, we have some teas with it in the 7 aisle. C puts the lavender essential oil back up and grabs 10 boxes of teas with lavender in them. I really hope he was able to focus, and if he finds the real cure for ADHD, I hope he shares it with me. TL. Dr. A customer honestly thought he could cure his ADHD with drinking a lavender essential oil. I told him that may be dangerous. He bought 10 boxes of tea with lavender instead.